Good morning, Bob. We're already on the road, so.
Yo, what's up, Mike? Welcome, everybody, as we are commanding the commute to Northwest Stadium, which is what this is the whole podcast, man. This is our whole thing. We go to the game, we talk about the games on the way to the game.
Yep.
So, yeah, we're already on the road. We've got an hour and 27 minutes to the parking lot, the red zone lot, and
It's just after 11, so we're slated to be there about 12:30.
Yep. So this is, like I said, the Command the Commute podcast. First quarter of the podcast, we're gonna recap what happened last week. We got a big dub. We can finally kind of remember what it's like to feel that way.
Yeah, we haven't felt that way since about week 4, week 5.
Was it October? Yeah, it's not like,
Yeah.
oh, it seems so long ago. Like over 2 months without a win.
Yeah.
And then second quarter, we're going to get into our picks. Third quarter, which, hey, spoiler, just a little tease here for our picks. If you're betting with us this year, not too good last week. Not too good. I don't know about you, Mike, but Tom and I, not too good.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Well, that's what happens when you bet against the spread. And then third quarter, we're going to get into our beast and least of the NFC East. And then obviously our fourth quarter, as we approach the stadium, get into the lock, we're going to break down what we think is going to happen in today's game against the Philadelphia Eagles, which, how you feeling just right off the bat?
I mean, I feel good because we won last week. Does that mean the same thing's going to happen today? Hard to say.
This is one of those deals where you have to kind of mark it up to any given Sunday, kind of give yourself any reason to think that we could win. It's like when you're going fishing, you know? You're like, you'll come up with any excuse to think that this is the reason why the fish will be biting, because you're going to be fishing. So, oh, it rained last night, so, you know, they're biting. Oh, no, it's nice temperature out here today. They'll be biting. You know, any which way to give yourself an excuse that the fish will be biting.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like today's game against the Eagles. I kind of feel myself saying, well, yeah, but, you know, they're kind of a little shaky these days. They're not the same Eagles that we've seen in the past.
No, they're not the same from last year, that's for sure.
Hurts had a lot of turnovers. Their team had lots of turnovers here lately. Lots of teams have been able to run on them. You say things like that, and then you start thinking to yourself, like, there's a chance. But then you remind yourself that it's still us.
Yeah.
Without Jaden Daniels. We are getting a little bit healthier, but still, we're still banged up. But anyway, so that's the agenda. Mike, let's before we get into today's game, let's talk about last week's game against the Giants. It felt so good to have a nice win, and I say nice win in the sense that all phases contributed.
Yeah, we played like a complete team.
Yeah.
Really, for the first time in weeks, really. I mean.
Yeah. It was good seeing the offense be productive. It was good seeing special teams be productive. It was great seeing defense kind of show up. And I love it when our special teams is good.
You're good. I don't see anything.
All right, we're driving, folks. This is the whole thing. Yeah, I love it when our special teams is good. I love a good special teams.
I mean, it's always good when you can have your kicker actually make a kick.
Kicker and return game. I was happy to see Jalen Lane with a good return.
Yeah.
That guy is good. He's a good pickup. I wonder how productive he'll end up being for us. I hope that he's not looked at like a Jahan Dotson, where it's like, yeah, lots of talent, but just couldn't really get it going. And for those folks out there that are on like the that was a stupid trade move with Jahan Dotson to the Eagles, screw you. Screw you.
Well, I think
especially the Eagles fans that'll say that, because Jahan Dotson has like 13 catches this season and he hasn't been injured. So screw you. That guy sucks.
We got the better end of that deal. So
what did we trade him for?
Doesn't matter. We still got the better end of it.
Let me think. I think we just got picks. It was probably for like a nothing burger pick. Like a 6th round or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Now
We'll
that you say 6th round, that sounds about right. I think that's when we were just kind of giving people away for just about any pick we could get.
Well, that's when the new regime was coming in and we were identifying players that didn't fit our locker room, didn't fit our team. Wasn't a Dan Quinn guy. And we got what we could out of him. So, yeah, I'm curious. We'll look into that at some point. But, yeah. I mean, I liked Jahan Dotson when he was on our team. But now that he's an Eagle, screw him.
Yeah, and once you're gone, especially when you go to division rival.
All right. We keep talking about the Eagles. Let's get back to the Giants. The Giants suck.
Yeah, they're slightly worse than we are this season.
Yeah, I say they suck with a grain of salt because we suck. I can fully admit that.
But the difference is, at least for me, I knew that they were still going to suck this year. Like, I just had a gut feeling that they were still going to suck this year.
I think a lot of people picked the Giants to finish last in the NFC East this season, and they haven't disappointed. They've been one of the predictable outcomes of this season in terms of where you think that certain teams would end up in their division. Giants not too good, but they do have some really talented puzzle pieces, and depending upon what they do at head coach and how they continue to rebuild, and depending upon how Scadaboo comes back, because I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be shocked if Scadaboo doesn't come back as productive after this injury. For whatever reason, I just feel like his personality, he might just, kind of phone in the rehab.
Oh, yeah, based off of his personality and kind of what you see, I'll say off the field or what we've seen. Yeah, I could sort of see him not being fully invested in what it would take to get back to 100%, game ready shape.
Nobody's telling stories about how phenomenal his work ethic is. I've not heard he's first guy in, last guy out, which look, you don't have to be that guy. Not everybody can be the first one in the building, but I just haven't heard those things. I could be completely wrong, but I would not be shocked if we don't really see the same flash of Scadaboo like we saw earlier this season.
Yeah.
And you see that with a lot of rookies too. They come in, they're flashy, they look good. A lot of NFC East rivals are hearing me say that, saying, yeah, like Jaden Daniels. And it's like, no, not like Jaden Daniels. Screw you. Which the news this week is that he's shut down for the season, which we've been talking about for the last couple weeks, and whether or not that was the move.
It's been a long time coming. So.
Yeah, and it's the move, and it's especially the move because he's not medically cleared. And he was asked about it this week, and kind of what his thoughts are, and all that kind of stuff. So we'll give you guys that little soundbite.
It was obviously disappointing. I'm a competitor. I want to play, but I wasn't medically cleared to go, and sat down, talked to DQ and AP, and made the decision.
When did you know after Minnesota, like after the adrenaline wore off, that oh man, this is still a problem?
I woke up the next day. That's kind of when you really everything settles down. And I just woke up the next day, I did some tests, felt it in different things, and, just kind of just being honest and going forward, because longevity is a big thing, so you want to be smart with these type of things.
How tough was that moment
Super tough, man. I don't want to miss games at all. I've been frustrated this whole season missing games. I want to be out there to help my teammates as much as possible. So it's just been a frustrating year, disappointing year, but you learn from it and we move forward.
So, yeah, obviously we've been debating whether or not, if he was healthy, whether or not he should be shut down, but he's not healthy. But is he not healthy? I don't know. It kind of seems like this is I'm not healthy to play anyway.
It's a team decision.
But yeah,
even if he's not 100% not healthy, it's a team decision, maybe from the GM, ownership, that kind of thing, to shut him down, like I've been saying, in the best interest of the team going forward into next season.
Yeah, we need him. And that's the big thing. I want to know going into 2026 that JD's obviously 100% healthy. That's what we want. We it's not. I don't want one of these seasons like we had with RG3 where you're thinking to yourself, is he good to go? Is he healthy? Is he good? But oh shoot, we got
Oh,
yeah. Hold on. What are they? Geese? Goose?
yeah.
Swans?
Hopefully they don't.
Big old white goose.
Hopefully they don't turn around and go back the other way now that they're across.
They do not want to come out in front of our van. They do not want to come out in here.
But I think-
sorry, folks, we're dodging geese.
But I think it's obvious they made the right decision. I mean, everybody knows he is our quarterback now and for the foreseeable future. The fan base is invested in him, so they're doing the right thing. And it is what it is, and onward to 2026, because this season has been a dumpster fire, so there's no reason to force him coming back for the last two games that mean nothing.
And if he's going to have one of these kind of injury-plagued seasons, like, why not it be a season where the whole team's affected? Because even if he was 100% healthy this season, the rest of our team hasn't been.
Right.
From Austin Eckler all the way up through, all of our playmakers have pretty much been nicked up, dinged up, IR, ruled
So it's
out.
entirely possible that the record that we have now, if he would have stayed healthy the entire year, he might have bought us 2 or 3 more games. That'd be about it. Like we'd be on the teeter of postseason, but it wouldn't be a short thing like it was last year.
Yeah, but we were feeling so good about wide receiver coming into the season
Yeah.
with Terry and Debo and year 2 of Luke and our new guy Jalen Lane, right? So we were so excited for our wide receiver room, and then everybody gets hurt.
Yeah.
Like, your wide receiver room is banged up when you are playing and depending on Robbie Chosen, aka Robbie Anderson. Like, that's when you're really scratching bottom of the barrel there when you're signing guys and playing guys like that.
Yeah.
Nothing against him. I'm just saying.
Sure, he's
You know
a
what I'm
great guy.
saying? That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, we're just now getting on to 70 here at the Boonesboro-Smithsburg exit, hitting the highway. So if you're hearing the engine, look, these people staring at us. They've been riding our ass the whole time. Now they see the magnet on the side of the van, and they want to be like, "Oh yeah, they're recording a podcast." Kid in the back's scanning the side. Anyway, but I think this is a good opportunity to get into our picks.
I
you
think
think?
no time like the present.
Anything that we left out of last week's game that we like? Oh, the last thing that I want to say. Terry McLaurin is good. Terry McLaurin is good at football.
That's never been the question.
I know.
There's
I
never
just
been
saying
any
he had
doubt.
another awesome catch and another great game.
He did.
For Terry McLaurin last week. So it's got to be worth mentioning that Terry McLaurin is good at football.
Yeah.
That's it. So let's get in our picks.
Can't lose locks.
Audible here. We're pulling Audible.
Dallas sucks. Go Birds. It's the greatest city in the world.
It was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. And so, having said that, I want me some glory hole.
Go Birds, ELGS,
Washington football team.
NFC East. From beast to least.
So we decided to switch it up, and we're going with our beast and least segment first. So we're going back and forth, least and beast, beast and least. I think it's my week to go with the least. Mike, NFC East least of this week, it's going to be Jaden Daniels. This is my moment to kind of be a little bit unbiased. He's been ruled out for the season. This season is almost the exact opposite of the season that he had last season.
Yeah.
Last season, he lit the world on fire and was untouchable. And
Definitely has the sophomore slump this season.
yeah,
But through no
to
fault
say
of
the
his
least. And yeah, I agree with that sentiment as well. It's not like he has done anything it's not like he put himself in these positions to get injured. Each of these injuries have been, if anything, he's kind of proven that he's a little bit durable, in my opinion. To go through that injury that he had with his elbow, and for us to even be having the conversation of him coming back.
Yeah.
I feel like at first glance, everybody thought that he's done. He's done for the year.
Well,
I
we
hope he's okay.
thought it. I mean,
Yeah.
initially we thought, oh shit,
Right.
you know.
So I know it's weird to say that a guy's durable going through that kind of stuff, but I just mean it in the sense that it's impressive that he wasn't placed on the IR and that he was even in a situation to come back and play again. So, but it all happened, right? It all happened. The season still happened. And he didn't look great in a handful of games where he was supposedly healthy, because I wouldn't be surprised if he had some lingering something that's been going on all season long. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but I feel like at some point you got to put him as the NFC East least, because he's in the NFC, and as far as quarterbacks go, he's been the least of all the QBs, aside from maybe Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, Russell definitely got off to a rocky start with the Giants, as we, of course, saw in the opener and then the following weeks. So
Yeah, and now that I'm thinking about quarterbacks, like around the NFC East, I'm reminded of how annoyed I always am of Dak Prescott. God, that guy sucks, don't you think?
yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't watch this week's Hard Knocks episode just because I had a lot going on this week. But every time I watch the first couple episodes, when I watch him, he is quite annoying on camera.
Yeah, dude, that guy sucks.
Yeah,
So what are these, cinnamon twists?
Yeah.
Donuts?
from Grumpy's
Oh, right.
via AT&T.
Damn, that thing's good.
So that's
So that's my
that's
NFC.
your least.
Yeah, that's my NFC East least for this week. What did you decide for your beast?
See, with the Beast, I've done this, last week and so on. Kind of going big picture with the whole NFC conference, because we're talking about the NFC East every week, so it's pretty obvious how each individual team is going.
Yeah, but that's
So-
you're going outside the
Yeah,
box.
so I'm going outside the box because you just have to. Got to find new things to talk about.
I'm good with it.
Okay. Well, it's our segment. I'm going to do what I want with it.
Right.
So
Good. So NFC Beast.
So the Beast, I went with the Seattle Seahawks, who, of course,
They're good.
beat the Rams Thursday night in that last-minute 38-37 victory.
What do you think of that 2-point conversion?
It's absolutely nuts. I've never seen anything like it.
It's crazy because it's like you can't dispute it. Like, it's true. Like, it was a backwards pass, and it was a fumble.
Yeah.
And it was recovered in the end zone, even though the guy that recovered it wasn't even aware that he was recovering a 2-point conversion.
You could tell. He just picked it up and was like,
He's like, here's a go.
yeah.
But
Anyway,
that was crazy. That whole game. I mean, that was a great game. It was one of those games where a lot of people probably turned it off at a certain point, only to miss an epic comeback in an awesome game going into overtime.
So with that win, that gives them the best record in the entire NFC conference at 12-3. They clinch a playoff berth, and they very easily could win that division because they're 12-3. The Rams are 11-4. The Niners are 10-4, and the Cardinals are as bad as we are at 3-11. So that division really is up for grabs. So that's what I did there.
The Seahawks are good, man, and I think that Sam Darnold. I think he's good. It was the first time I was watching him play where I'm like, shit, is this guy actually a really good quarterback?
Well, I mean, we saw what he did with Minnesota. I don't think there's a question other than could he duplicate what he did with Minnesota, and it's clear that he can. So it wasn't just a one-shot, one-year deal, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's also the reason why Minnesota let him go. Because they must have thought that was a one-time
That's my point.
thing. So I wasn't the only one fooled a little bit because, and I don't say fooled, but sometimes I think it takes, especially a quarterback, like many jobs.
But to defend
a couple
Minnesota,
years to really get to your true potential, and you really need the right team and the right offense and the right coach and the right personnel to put you in a situation to succeed.
But to defend Minnesota, they weren't going to keep Darnold because they already had JJ in the wings. They knew he was coming back from his injury this season, and he was going to be the starter.
Yeah, but why? Because how many times have we seen... Whoa. I'll tell you what.
That guy just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, these people in the DMV, these crazy drivers. Lost my train of thought. We're talking about how good Sam Darnold is.
Yeah, and JJ being the starter.
And the best teams out there put themselves in awesome quarterback situations. So I understand that a bunch of money was owed to Darnold, and they needed to make a decision. But how's that working out for him now?
Not too well.
So
Not too well.
What's stopping you? Because the rookie quarterback contract, it, for the most part, is a 4-year no money based upon the quarterback market. So there's nothing stopping you from keeping Darnold for as long as he's good and having your rookie kind of sitting there waiting. That's how it used to be.
Well, that's how,
NFL
right.
All the time.
And that's kind of the problem with the way the league is now, is the way it used to be, what we're used to. You draft a quarterback, he sits behind for about 2 seasons, and then takes over. That's not the case. They draft the rookie, and he starts in his first season. That's just, for some reason, the league has transitioned to that mentality.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always work out.
Well, and it's tough for your it's tough for your quarterback that does end up playing because he's scrutinized at every spot, and you got the fan base chanting Sanders, 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 you know, and then you get to a point where the fans only are going to yell it so loud that you got to put the guy in.
Right, and
So,
the same thing.
But they weren't chanting JJ, you know, they
They weren't
wanted to
chanting because he was out with like an ACL injury.
I know, but even if he was, Darnold didn't give them a situation like opportunity to want to see him.
No, because he was playing so well. So,
And not to mention, nobody would have faulted Minnesota for
watch out.
yeah. Come on. For RV named Ghost, this guy is
Whoa.
not very. You can see him coming a mile away.
Yeah. Okay,
So, all right, yeah. Anything else on your beast? I mean,
Let's-
I do. We'll summarize that up with. I think Sam Darnold's actually a really good quarterback, and I think the Seahawks are. I agree with you. I mean, they're the real deal.
let's just move into our picks, I guess. If
Yeah, replay that pick. The can't lose lock.
we'll run it back.
Can't lose locks.
Okay, Bob. So we're gonna do our picks now. Our can't lose locks.
Can you try to do the voice?
No, not a chance.
No, just try.
Nope, not doing it.
Can't lose locks. You don't have that.
Not doing it. Nope.
Okay.
Too sober to do anything like that.
So, all
right.
yes, that's true.
So,
Yeah, give me your picks.
Yeah.
How'd you do last week?
let's start there. Last week, I went 10-6.
Hey,
And I have a combined record of 142 and 84. Yeah.
right.
So my good luck streak continues. So Thursday night, of course, the Rams and the Seahawks. I went with the Seahawks. I discovered that today because I thought I went with the Rams. So all week I've been thinking, I lost that game, but looks
Nice.
like I went with the Seahawks.
All right, so you're +1 going into the
Yeah.
weekend.
So I'll skip our game today at 5 because we're going to talk about that. So we'll circle back to that.
You don't have to. I know you picked us to lose.
I mean, I did. And then the Saturday night game tonight, which is doubleheader on Fox, by the way, is Green Bay at Chicago, and I went with Green Bay.
That should be a good game.
Then we've got
That might be for the division.
very well could be. Then we've got the Sunday lineup. The Bucks at the Panthers. I went with the Bucks. Bills at the Browns. I went with the Bills. Chargers at Cowboys, and I went with the Chargers.
Nice.
Continuing Sunday 1:00 games. Jets at the Saints, and I went with the Saints. Vikings at the Giants, and I went with the Vikings. Kansas City at Tennessee, I went with Kansas City. The Bengals at the Dolphins, and I went with the Bengals. And it had nothing to do with the fact that Miami is sitting Tua for like this week, and I believe the remainder of the season.
Oh yeah, that's right. You said
So-
that. Why?
Don't know.
Well, what did they say?
I didn't really investigate it that far, to be quite honest, because I wasn't all that surprised. But moving on now to the 4:00 games
Doubt that it's a head coaching decision. I'll just say that.
for Sunday. Atlanta at Arizona, and I went with Atlanta. Jaguars at Denver. I went with Denver. Steelers at Detroit, and I went with Detroit. Raiders at the Texans, and I went with the Texans. Sunday night game, Patriots at Baltimore, and I went with the Patriots. And then the Monday night game, the Niners at Indy, and I almost switched this game, but I'm going to ride it and stick with Indy. And I'm going to say that Old Man Rivers will get a victory.
I watched that game last week.
Those are my picks.
He played... I have to say he played better than I thought. I mean, and he played as I predicted, which it was all very quick passes. He didn't air it out very far. It was all a very efficient game plan. They ran the ball on a lot of plays where typically I think they would have passed.
Okay.
There was several instances where they put themselves in 4-down territory. So you could run it on 3rd down if you're in 4-down territory.
Gotcha.
So it was fun watching him out there. I enjoy this story a lot. I hope that he does well.
Yeah, I think the story is great. So, like I said, that's kind of why I'm going to stick with him, because I think, not that I think, but I'd like to see him get a win while he's back.
Who do they play today? What did you say?
They play the Niners on Monday night.
Nice. Oh, he's on Monday Night Football, too.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But those are my picks. What did you do, Bob?
So, last week, I needed a comeback because I went 0-4 the week before.
Yeah. Well, you both did, really. You both had.
Well, guess what? This week was a perfect opportunity for me to make a comeback because Tom went 0-4. But unfortunately, I went 1-3. So I only got one game up on them. How I was wrong on all those picks. I mean, that's hard to do. But yeah, I really need a good comeback week here. So let's get into them. My picks, I went Minnesota -2.5 versus the Giants. Went Green Bay +1.5 with Bears. Washington, Philly over 44.5, and Jets, Saints under 40.5. Those are my picks. Of course, you know we do a favorite, an underdog, an over, and an under. Each week, Tom and I go back and forth, and this was my week to go first, so I'm still awaiting Tom's picks. Now, if he doesn't get the picks in today, it's okay, because he's only excusing today's games.
And there's only 2 of them, so it's not like it's a big slate.
Right. But if he texts me during the pod, we'll obviously let everybody know what Tom's picks are. But we are smooth sailing here today, Mike. We haven't hit any traffic yet, knock on wood. It looks like there's going to be a little bit of traffic up ahead here. We're currently on 270. I mean,
we're about a half hour away.
Clear skies. I mean, beautiful weather for this game today.
Yeah, I think this afternoon is going to be nice in terms of tailgating, and then of course it's going to get cold this evening. It's going to be high 30s, low 40s.
It just occurred to me I forgot my game day shoes. Wish I had my game day shoes, my pumps.
Oh,
but
too late to turn around.
Yeah, we are headed to the stadium. When we took our little break there, I kind of alluded to it. We talked about it a little bit. This was a season where we really had an opportunity to take our stadium back, the fan base. And it's not our fault. It's the football's fault. If the football was better, all of our fans would come back. But lately, these games our stadium gets taken over by the opposing fan base so bad.
When we lose, that's what happens.
I can't stand these Eagles fans that are gonna flood the stadium today. They're gonna be everywhere. They're so obnoxious.
Yeah. They are some of the worst fans.
And I love how every time you talk about how horrible the Philly fans are, it always goes back to they threw snowballs at Santa. Well, you know what? They did. They did throw snowballs at Santa. And that does tell you something. Why would you do that to Santa?
Tells you they don't believe in Christmas.
I hope Santa's not at the game today.
No, he'll be there on the Christmas Day game. He won't be there today.
Thank goodness. The Eagles, for that fact, should never play on Christmas because we just can't risk Santa out there on that field.
Yeah,
just asking for it. If you put Santa out on that Philly field, you know those fans are going to do it again. You know they would.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Legend has it that's the reason why Rudolph has this red nose. He got hit in the nose with a snowball from a Philly fan.
I don't think that's what the legend says.
It's in the song.
I don't know what song you're listening to, but check your backs.
Had a really shiny nose. Got hit in the nose from a Philly fan.
Okay. Still living in that post-factual world. Got it.
Something like that. I think that's how it goes. Anyway, yeah, we are. Okay, so we are hitting a little bit of congestion. I wouldn't necessarily call it traffic.
But it's congested.
I'll tell you, I've been getting a lot of looks over here on the driver's side window at our Command and Commute podcast logo on the side of the van. People are checking us out. All right, so we've got about 10 miles left here on 270 before we hit 495 and really make our home stretch here to the stadium. We'll take this opportunity to take a little break and give you guys our fourth quarter as we break down the Philadelphia Eagles.
Hell yeah! I said, give me a hell yeah!
All right, so we're going into our fourth quarter here where we talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, and we figured it'd only be fitting because we're bitching and complaining about how these Philadelphia Eagles fans are going to take over Northwest Stadium today like all these other fan bases have been lately. So we've got a Philadelphia Eagle fan on the line. Buddy of mine.
What's going on? Go Birds!
Yeah, okay. Let's look. I'm letting you on the pod, all right? So this is still a Commander's pod. It doesn't mean you get to. Your fan base is going to take over the stadium. It doesn't mean you get to take over the pod too. But
I thought those were synonymous.
So, how many people you got coming to the game?
So I'm coming with 3 other people, but then I was texting this morning, and it turns out that there's actually 2 other Eagles tailgates in the lot that we're parking to next to yours. So, and I didn't even know that. So I don't know how many people are in those other 2 tailgates, but I bet you if I had to say in total the number of Eagles fans that'll be there, probably 12 to 15.
No, like how? So you're driving with 3 people? They're all Eagles fans?
Yeah, everyone in the car is Eagles fans. Just my crew coming to your place is just 4 of us.
Right. So, I mean, how you feeling? Because obviously this hasn't been a cakewalk of a season for Philly. You guys have had some turmoil and had to go through some adversity and has had some ups and downs. So, I mean, not just about our game today, but just as the season is kind of wrapping up and going into the playoffs, how are you feeling as an Eagles fan?
I'm 50-50. I'm not super confident. It gives reminiscent of the 2023 season where we had an incredible start. I think we started off like 10-1, And then our offense sputtered. We had problems in those wins. We won ugly. And then we ended the season terribly, and we were out against the Buccaneers in the first round of the playoffs. I'm hoping that today's game confirms that they fixed those problems. I know that the Commanders are injured. I know that they're not a great team. And that's what everybody said against the Raiders last week, but you can only do what you can do. And they looked great against the Raiders. So if they can continue that momentum into the playoffs, I'll feel more like I felt last year going into the playoffs and less like I felt the year before when we were the first round out section.
Well, you got to be feeling good that you've got us on the schedule twice. Now, who's the other team?
Yes.
Who's the other team that you're playing?
The Bills. So that'll be a true test to see if the problems and the fixes that we have will actually come to fruition and show that we're ready for the playoffs.
Well,
if they even put starters.
Well, the Bills are struggling too, so they're not a sure thing. I mean, they are, but they're also having the same struggles that you guys are.
I mean,
that's true, but
around the league,
they're coming off a win against. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say they're coming off a win against a division rival, like a come from behind win against the Patriots, and it's like, I think they're struggling, but I also think that they're a solid team, and winning against them would definitely be a confirmation that we're ready to be good NFC teams.
Right.
Yeah.
So you texted me a book of things that you wanted to talk about. Give me the first thing. What was the first thing that you had?
Yeah. So, to kind of flip it around to you as a Commanders fan, I feel like the media was in love with the Commanders last year. Like, their Cinderella story, you went to the NFC East championship for the first time in it had to be over 15 years. Do you know the actual time you guys were in the NFC championship last? 30 years. First time in the NFC Championship in 30 years. And it was this Cinderella story. But even when the media was high on you guys, I never fully bought into it simply because of the fact that I felt like at least 4 or 5 of your wins, most notably, or one of them was against the Eagles, the comeback win where they won by 3. Were within one score games, or like the Hail Mary against the Bears. Like, there were these last minute field goals, crazy finishes. And I just kind of looked at it like, if this is really the Commanders' resurgence, then they wouldn't have had so many flip of a coin wins. And I almost felt like, even despite the injuries this year, that sort of confirmed it. I don't know if you guys probably disagree, but how do you feel about the transition and the success we got last year leading into this year? Do you think that the success last year is lasting and was true of a good football team, or do you think it was sort of some last minute luck and when you got hot at the right time?
So, I mean, I hear you on the close games and everything, but each year, good teams are the ones that win those games. You know what I mean?
I agree.
So the fact that we won a lot of those close games, you got to be a good team to win those games. Bad teams or average teams lose those games. So we were a good team last year, and did we have some things kind of turn our way? Yeah, but the proof is in the pudding. I mean, we won the game.
And just this year, outside of the injuries, the luck that we had last year just isn't on our side. The coin is flipping the other side.
Right. And then I think
that proves my point, though. If you have to rely on a coin flip, I mean, yes, good teams win close games, but if you have to rely on lucky finishes, or I'm using your word in terms of lucky finishes, last year it was on your side. You were in the playoffs and you got hot at the right time. This year, you were never a contender. And I think good teams win those close games, but they also are fundamental and sound enough to beat teams handily. And I can look in the mirror and say we haven't beat all bad teams handily either. We've had some close wins. But the Raiders game last week is case in point. Everybody knew we were going to win. We came in and we took care of business. Today's game will be a testament to that, because we're supposed to take care of business. If we come in and do what we need to do, that's what true, sound, long-sustaining good teams do in the long run. And I just don't feel like you guys are there yet. Is Jane Daniels a great addition? Yeah. Is he a great player? Yeah. But you as a team, are you NFC Championship ready yet?
No.
I don't think
No,
anywhere
well,
close.
no, and
Yeah.
this year kind of proves it with like every team has got to be worried about injuries. And so we can't use the fact that we've been really, really banged up all season as a huge excuse, because it's our job to like have the depth
Right.
to overcome the injuries. And that's really where good teams really sustain that level that you're talking about, is with their depth. But we're still rebuilding. I kind of look at us similarly to how Houston has been, to where CJ Stroud came in his rookie year and lit the league on fire, and then in year 2, for whatever reason, like our team, our reason is injuries. Houston's got their own other list of reasons why they weren't playoff contenders last year, but now they're coming back in year 3 under CJ Stroud, and showing everybody that they're pretty damn good. So I think it's a process. Obviously it's hard to say that he had like a sophomore slump, just because he wasn't on the field long enough to prove
To make that determination.
right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'd like to think, even though our season hasn't went how the fan base thought, I still believe in Dan Quinn. I still believe in our GM, Adam Peters. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with a top 10 draft pick, and seeing what kind of puzzle pieces we can add. Because I think since he came in, the strategy has been, let's get some veterans that can make us contenders, and then we'll fill in the depth chart with young players that can sustain us for a long time. And we're only the second year in. He's only had 2 off seasons and 2 free agencies to really do anything about it. So,
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think your organization is better than it was 2 years ago. I just think that I don't know if the fan base has or not, got a premature sense of ascension early, when in reality, it's exactly what you just said. You're in year 2 of a rebuild, and it's going to take much longer to get to the point of where you were a year ago. It was nice to taste that, to know that you can get hot at the right time, but it sounds like mainly your answer boils down to, well, it's going to depend on like how year 3 goes because of the injuries, and you're going to see if progressions continue to happen.
yeah, in a weird way, going to the NFC Championship game last year was maybe like one of the worst things that could have happened to us, just because the amount of expectation, and
So high.
it was so high, and like everybody knows that we were in year 1 of a rebuild, and for us to go to the NFC Championship game, it's like, well, we're gonna get better at certain positions, we're gonna grow as a team. And so it's like, what other expectations is the fan base, or the team for that matter, supposed to have? We're supposed to think that we'll be back in the big game and go back to where we were. So, but at the same time too, it has seemed like they just thought that it was gonna just happen by default. Like, we still needed to play good football and be a good team for it to happen. We just haven't been able to do that all season long. But
yeah, I agree. And you talked about injuries, so that kind of leads me into my second question. You may have already talked about it because it's big news, but that is, so the Zach Ertz injury is a hot button topic in the NFL right now, because they're reviewing whether they believe that was a dirty hit or not. And he was obviously a big key player to your team. And it's controversial because some people said that the defense he could have controlled the way that he hit them. And other people feel like, well, if you're gonna ban headshots and then you're gonna ban low shots, that gives the defensive players a very short window where they can hit players. So I'm curious, as a Commanders fan, your take on the Zach Ertz hit and the NFL's reviewing of how that hit went down to potentially institute more rules in the league.
I at a certain point, I mean, obviously, I'm tore up about what happened to Zach. I hate to see a really good player like that potentially, end his career with an injury like that. But injuries need to be a part of the game, and the hits need to be a part of the game. At a certain point, you start cutting out all of these hits. It
takes away from the game.
It takes away from the game. Like, how many times I don't care what team you root for, how many times have you cussed at the television because I'm getting up. Yeah, send that. How many times have you screamed at the television because the defender put like an ounce of weight on top of the quarterback, and you're like, what? Like, what the hell is, like, you're not even allowed to sack the QB anymore? And then I also think too, if the more they try to control the hits, I think to a certain extent, the more likely the injuries are going to happen, because when you're moving so fast and running around the field and really just trying to throw your body around, like, you know, you can't control it all the time. You don't know when somebody's going to push you from the side or how the best way to take somebody down is. In some situations, going at somebody low is the best way. Sometimes going at someone high is the best way. I just feel like it is what it is. It's unfortunate that it happened. But
yeah, I mean, I love Zach too. I mean, he was a tight end a long time for the Eagles. So like it was terrible what happened to him. I lean more towards you as well. Like, I think that football is a dangerous game. I think that's why the players get played a lot. It's a contact sport. Yes, you don't want rules to be instituted so that like people are getting hurt in a way that like permanently disfigures them, but sometimes chips fall where people end up getting hurt in that way. So I lean more towards, I don't think there necessarily needs to be a rule change based off of that hit. It was just a really unfortunate set of circumstances, and feel terrible for Zach.
To me, it looked like his shoulder pad kind of hit him on the quad, and maybe his cleat just got stuck in the grass there for an extra half second, which kind of forced the hyperextension. But
yeah, I thought it was a legal hit.
Yeah, in the moment, I didn't see anything wrong with it, but you know, I could also see how others would look at it differently.
Yeah. All right, this is my last one. Then I got to hop in the car, and I'll see you guys shortly.
Yeah.
So I think I know the answer to this, but like, I talked to some Commanders fans. There's a couple of them where I live now in Baltimore, and some of them say, "Oh, you know, whenever we get eliminated and there's an NFC team in the playoffs, you know, we actually root for the team in the playoffs." And then some of them say, well, you know, when we play them and we're eliminated, we just want to lose out to get higher draft picks. I'm curious where you guys as fans sit on that in terms of, if we were to win the NFC East and go into the playoffs, do you feel pride in an NFC team going far for a season-long thing? And then in terms of the game today, do you want higher draft picks and you're sort of indifferent for a win or a loss?
So I never think of the draft pick until the draft. I want us to always win every game.
I agree.
I want us to play spoiler. You know, yeah, I want us to win every game. I don't think about the draft until all the chips have fallen and we just see what happened. As far as like NFC East pride, like, I have pride that our division has always been kind of like a juggernaut and kind of like a staple in the NFL for a long time. It's an historic division, right? The NFC East, and the rivalries between all the teams, the Giants, the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Commanders, Redskins. But once the playoffs start, if Washington's not in it and Philly is, no, I root against Philly. I don't root for, like, I don't want, like, some people are like, yeah, well, it's just another Super Bowl for the NFC East. And like, no, it's not. It's a Super Bowl for the damn Eagles. Like, I don't want, I could care less. I don't want Cowboys to ever win a playoff game. I don't want the Eagles to win a playoff game. I definitely don't want any divisional rival to win a Super Bowl. I don't want it. So,
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I feel the same way, but I've talked to Commanders fans who I felt different. So I just wanted to see where you guys sat. So.
Yeah, well, that Commanders fan is weak sauce.
Yeah,
it's a girl actually. But yeah.
Well, exactly. See, exactly.
I mean, especially when it comes to the playoffs. For me, yeah, I don't really root for our division. I just look at the entire playoff field and I root for basically who I think is most deserving of a championship. If they're the best team in the lot, I don't know, but I always tend to go with, out of these teams, who do I think is, deserves to win a championship this year, whoever that may be.
Yeah, it could be the player, could be the team, could be the coach. I'll find different reasons to root for whichever team it might be. Yeah, that's kind of where I stand. So what are you cooking? What are you bringing?
Bringing hot dogs, some beef franks. Not a ton of food because they're eating in the car on the way down. But we got hot dogs, we got some chips, we got some candy, little sweet, little salty. But we got to pack light because we're walking around. So
no doubt. All right, man. Well, thanks for being on the pod. We'll see you here soon.
All right, sounds good. Go Birds. Bye, guys.
See ya. All right. We thank John for being on the pod here, giving us some insight. For an Eagles fan, he's not the worst guy in the world.
No, and it was nice to hear the other perspective.
Yeah. But we took a little pause there after that phone call just because we hit some traffic on 95. There was some type of an accident back there. It diverted us off the highway around the boonies, and we're back on the highway. We are approximately 8 minutes from the stadium, which probably means like 12, 15 minutes from the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wouldn't be a command the commute if we weren't diverted or if it just didn't take for freaking ever to get here.
Yeah, the last couple games we've had some interesting traffic.
We need to go back to that 1 o'clock game slot. We're used to that traffic, which is minimal for the most part.
Yeah, it's almost perfect traffic, to be honest. But when you're good, you got to play in other time slots. People want to see you.
But we're not good. We were good.
We were.
Okay.
Going into the season, we were good. And people hypothetically wanted to see us. Now
I didn't even hear that there was some investigations into the hit on Zach Ertz.
No, that was news to me. I didn't know they were looking at it because it looked like a clean hit to me. So I'm kind of surprised that the league is taking another look.
But I'm sure his algorithm still gets those Zach Ertz updates because he was an Eagle, which leads us into our Eagle conversation. I mean, let's look at it from both sides of the ball here, Mike. What do you think needs to happen for Washington to walk away with a victory?
I think we need to stop Jalen, really, because like so many other teams that we've played this year, they've been able to carve us up with the long ball in the middle of the field, wide open, and, go for an extra 15, 20 yards. So if we can sort of stop that, we might have a shot.
I'd love it if Sanistrell could show up again today and get another pick. We know that they can turn the ball over.
Yeah.
The other thing that we know about Philly is that...
Well, we know that they're kind of imploding a little bit,
yeah, but they're still talented, so we can't overlook that.
No, not overlooking that at all.
But the other thing that can happen today is that we run it all over them.
That would be nice.
Because, like the Bears did a couple weeks back, they ran for like 280 yards or something like that on the Eagles.
Right.
And we are just cutting people off left and right.
That's all right. It's been happening to us all commute. So,
All right.
Turnabout is fair play.
Yeah. We're on Landover Road, getting ready to make that left onto Bright Seat Road and get ready to make that right onto Sheriff Road.
With all that being said, I still think we're going to end up losing. I think this final score will be something like 27-14 if we're lucky. It could be a complete blowout, but I'm being optimistic and say it's going to be more of a kind of 27-14 game. If we're lucky, we might score 17, but I don't see us going above that. So I'm going to stick with 27-14.
I actually think it's going to be a closer game. I think we're going to put up some points today. I think there's a good vibe in the building coming off of that win that we've been looking for so long. I don't have us winning. I'd love a win, obviously, but I got us losing a close-ish game. I'm going to say it's going to be 28-21.
Similar to the score last week. Okay.
Yeah. 28-21, maybe 28-22 somehow. We figured out how to score 22 points a couple times. Feeling, I guess, as optimistic as you can.
As any fan of a 4-10 team can feel.
Yeah. But we're approaching Sheriff Road here to the red zone lot. Lots of traffic today.
Well, it's after 1 o'clock. All the lots are open, so we're, we didn't beat the traffic per se like we normally would.
Yeah. Nope, and I'll take the blame for that.
No blame necessary.
But man, I just hope there's not a god-awful amount of Philly fans.
There's going to be, we're going to look over on the visitor side and you're going to see nothing but that ugly shade of green.
Yeah, what kind of green is that anyway?
Isn't it like forest green or something?
Doesn't matter. Philly green.
But yeah, we're going to see a lot of Philly fans here because, as we said earlier, because we're a bad team, and when we're a bad team, our fans don't show up. So, the opposing fan base just gobbles up our tickets at bottom barrel prices.
Yeah. That's the truth. That is the truth. All right, let's get this parking pass. Great.
This guy's already yawning, man. What you gonna do?
Oh, no. What are we going to do about that? All right. I know I got it on here. Red
That's
zone.
okay,
Here we
man.
go.
You got this rig. You good.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, man.
It's been a 2-hour commute, okay?
That's the first checkpoint to get into the red zone lot. Now here comes for the second checkpoint. We typically can get a good indication of what the stadium's going to look like just based off of the red zone lot here. Okay, it's a little bit fuller than it was the last home game. A little bit fuller.
I still see a lot of open spaces, even for this being open for an hour now.
How y'all doing?
How you feeling?
Good.
Good. You all set, man?
All right. Yup.
The lot's been open for an hour, and there's still a lot of empty spots. I mean, yeah.
You know where we like to go. Weather's perfect for game day. For a late December game. We know we like to get away from those guys with the speakers because they don't.
Yeah, they always post up right there.
I don't mind hearing the music, but
in between this SUV and
Yep, that's us, Michael.
right here, somewhere in there.
That's all us right here, right up against the tree line. This is where we like to be. This is where we like to be. All right. Well, this is the part of the pod, folks, where if you've joined us thus far, we'd appreciate it. A like, a comment, a review. Thank you for joining us for the commute. And we will see you next week after we upset the freaking Philadelphia Eagles. But no, we'll be putting out a Christmas episode here. It's worth mentioning at this point. I know we have a home game on Christmas Day, but we also have families. So we're going to be spending Christmas Day with our families and trying to sell our home game tickets on Christmas Day versus the Cowboys. So we'll put out a podcast about a day before Christmas Eve, and hopefully we can go back to back and finish the season strong.
Yeah, if we could finish 3-0, that would be awesome.
Wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? All right. Well, thank you so much, folks. We'll see you next time. Hail to the Redskins.
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
Thanks for listening to the Command the Commute podcast. I now welcome you to crack a cold beer, cook up some chicken wings, and enjoy the football game. Because the Commanders, the team, the Redskins, or whatever else you call them, is going to kick some ass. If this is a home game, Bob and Michael will be in the Red Zone lot at Northwest Stadium. We encourage you to come to our tailgate and say hello. If you are still listening to the podcast, wow, you are an extremely loyal listener. I wonder how much longer you'll stay. Hey, I've got a question. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? You've got mail. Goodbye.